Welcome, dolls, to another episode of For the Dolls podcast with your host, John the Doll. Ew. So, guys, let me just say, going into the new year, I'm very excited to introduce this next guest. We're going to talk about a lot of new topics that haven't been talked about on the podcast. It's a whole different perspective because this is also the first guy to come onto the podcast. So, I'm going to let him introduce himself and I'm going to introduce Mar.
Hey y'all. First of all, my name is Mars Santana.
Blackie.
I'm a social media content creator here in Philadelphia. We're not in Philadelphia, but that's kind of like my little go for. I do a lot of different content. I do mainly on Instagram. I do TikTok. I'm on YouTube. I'm also a podcaster. So a lot of things that I'm posting in my day to day is just like me yapping, and that's just that. So I'm very excited to be here because, like I said, when I walked in, it was so cute.
Thank
I admired all the
you.
decor. I love all the nice touches, and yeah, I'm just excited to be here. I'm excited to be your first
Same.
guest on here that is a gay male.
Okay. We're gonna get into the tea, y'all. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
So, let me also introduce my new man, y'all.
She's
Keep
cute.
the breads. Going
She's
with the bread
cutesy.
scenes for the dolls. Hello. Because we're getting into the tea. Okay. The first topic we're gonna get into today is: did you feel the need to come out, or did you feel like it was known growing up?
Got you. So
The tea. We're
for
going into
me,
the tea.
yeah, for me, it was honestly something that a lot of people asked me about growing up. Like it was a constant question. Like honestly, like straight when I was a kid, like it would be like different forces, like it being like people at school, it'd be like friends' parents on the block, like things like that, where it just made me uncomfortable and I wasn't able to speak about that because I was so young. I didn't know what it meant. Like genuinely, like not to say I didn't know what being gay meant, because of course I knew like boy. Like that was like the easiest part for me, but I didn't know what that meant in terms of me. So growing up, it was kind of like it would be talked about, but I did my best. You're good. I did my best to kind of stray away from that, especially like in middle school, and then when I went to high school, I remember the mindset being like, I need to make sure this doesn't happen again. Right. Because again, I was at that point, like I didn't come out till I was 17. So for me, and when I say come out, I mean like tell my parents I'd come out. So that didn't happen for me for till that age, which yeah, it's like I can't tell if that's late or early, but for me, I did feel the pressure. Yeah. I did feel the pressure to come out. I think 17 is an early age. Like truthfully, like I think like not to say that it, because like I know people who have come out sooner or like made it aware when they're younger, but for me that I felt like it was like I'm doing this because I feel like I need to, and it's like that was like scary because again I was still a teenager, I was still growing, and so I did feel the pressure of it, and then I eventually did, and thankfully I was blessed enough to not have regretted it, but growing, I like, to be truthful, like growing up I knew it was gonna come at some point, which it's so scary before, and now I talk about it so loosely, but like that before for me was like,
before you come out, it's all like
it's gay, just everything's just gay, like exactly, yeah. And so it's just like it's a lot, but yeah. So for me, I did come out when I was 17, and that kind of like leads me into being like, I don't know, like I feel like it's half and half. Like for me, I think for me that was fine for like great age for me, but sometimes that's too early, that's too late for people. But yeah, it looks different for everyone, but I think growing up with three sisters and then just constantly like playing with them, like freaking dolls, like this, it was the whole. I would get up early on weekends just to play because I knew they was trying to play like Barbies without me. I was like, what the hell? So
don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, not too much, but yeah. So for me, I not to play into that stereotype. That's just like the first thing, like a genuine memory of mine. So I'm like, that's kind of what it was for me. So yeah. I don't know if I feel like I'm interested in your take on this too.
My take honestly is I feel like growing up, in a sense, it was known. Like you could tell, I was very feminine. I've always been very feminine. Like my little walk, like I've always been like Jonathan. It was just obviously wasn't me then. Yeah, that makes sense. Like you grow when you go. Yeah. But I feel like growing up, I definitely, like you said, always got like in school stuff like that, and it was just like, mind your business.
Yeah,
mind your business.
Like, why are you talking?
Why are you in my business? Yeah, like that? I don't come ask you what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. No, I completely.
But
agree.
I was also, like you said, like when it was growing up, it was me and my mom in the house. Like I'm not an only sibling, but it was me and my mom in the house. So it was like I was always with my mom. I was always with like my girl cousins. Like, so I don't want to say more so it's because of me growing up in that area, like, you know what I mean, like in that surrounding or environment. because I feel like it's not what you grew up in. I feel like you're already that way.
Yeah.
You just don't, in a sense, know it.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree.
I feel like you become more aware of it growing up, but you don't know, obviously, as a child.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're born that way. Like, I don't care what nobody say. You don't become. You can't unbecome. Like, y'all can do what y'all want. I'm gonna say that. What you want, do as you please. Say what you want about what you do. But that's my take on it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's crazy to think that like I don't know. I think like sometimes I talk about it with my friend, like my best friend. He's also gay, and we came out like for me coming out.
When I came out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I did one of that. Mm-hmm. When did you come out?
So
how old were you?
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was 9th or 10th grade summer. Like either going into 9th grade or coming out of 9th grade summer.
Like same.
So I was like 16 going to 17, 15 going to 16, one of those.
Yeah.
But I feel like I didn't really, like, in a sense, come out to everybody. Like, because like I said, like, it was really known for real. Like, but it was really known for real, but like it was just like, you know, I just let me confirm it for y'all. I guess.
Exactly.
Let me really give y'all the confirmation.
It's a confirmation.
You know?
Exactly.
Don't be assuming up on me neither.
Right. I hate that shit because
now if I would have came out straight, y'all would have been gay.
Right. Literally, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I hate the like when people be like, "Oh, well, I always knew." Who the fuck told you that? Like, it's just like I didn't. So it's like you assumed, and that's fine. But you ain't know shit till I said it, and that was like my thing on it. I'm just like, yes, people are assuming, and for me, again, I was in the media space, so like at that point in my time in posting on social media, I had the biggest following. So when I would post on stories, like those were getting thousands of views. When I was posting on YouTube, that was getting so it was like I had more eyes on me naturally, and like that too got to my head where I was like, okay, now if I'm coming out to my family, like I'm finna come out, like I'm gonna do the whole shabam. And my mom was just like, I don't feel comfortable with you doing that. I thankfully, like I was at the age where like I agreed. I was like, I understand where you're coming from with this, but I did what I wanted, and I like did a whole like story post and all that, and I don't know. For me, like at the time, I felt like liberated, but like now I look back at it and I'm like, I didn't need that. Like I didn't need to do that. I knew once I told like my parents and like confirmed it, because like I knew for me it was like bringing that wall down. It was like now like they know, so I don't have to like try. Exactly, I don't have to try that hard to be straight or pretend to be, because like even sports and all that, like growing up, like I was like doing it. I was doing it, but I fucking hated it.
I couldn't do sports. I couldn't do shit. They definitely knew. I couldn't do none of that. None of that handyman, no sports, no nothing.
I don't blame you. I literally absolutely hated it. It would never. I'm just like it. So yeah, it's just crazy. I don't know. I feel like that. I don't know if that answers the question fully, but yeah, that's kind of like for me. It was more so growing up with my family, my sisters, my cousins, and just kind of like loving that, like loving the things that they were into. And it's like I don't put the blame on them at all. I just like I always ate that.
I feel like that was put in that lifestyle for
exactly. That's what I'm saying. I was just like that. It worked for me. Like I had a good.
What I needed to know at a young age. Like that's all.
I had a good childhood. I was having fun.
I was having a Baja Blast.
Exactly.
As my friend Marty was saying. I did touch on dating a little bit in my last episode, and now it's even more of a different. You know, because now it's your take and my take, but also different from what I already previously talked about.
Yeah,
I want you to start with your overall look on gay dating.
So, in my experience, or just overall, both?
You could do both.
Okay, work. So.
Let's get into it.
For me, I feel like, so we can just like kind of get to the bases. Like gay dating, what it looks like today is just very like, it's like speed dating.
It's hookup culture.
Yeah, it's hookup culture. It's like speed dating, and it's normalized. And that's what it is. Do I think that's fine? Do I think that's great? I don't really care too much to take my take on it. I'm pretty indifferent, but.
Same. It's not my cup of tea.
Exactly. And I don't care. That's fine.
Y'all do y'all.
Right. But for me, doing that, like, and again, I came out at 17 years old, so like at the point where I was just like, all right, like I want to like start like actually talking to guys, like I want to like experience this now. It was slow as fuck for a while.
Did you go to school, like in school, was there any gays?
My best friend was gay, so it was easy to pin us on one another and be like they're together.
Okay. See, like for me there really wasn't.
Yeah.
So it was also different because it wasn't like there was like guys in my school that like I was talking to. Like I didn't have that like experience in high school or any of that. Like it was all like after high school.
Same. And that's kind of like what it was for me. And the whole time, like, COVID hit. So it was like senior
Literally.
year.
Senior year COVID.
And then after that, I was like, okay, like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I kind of want to start dating. I want to start talking to people. I want to start doing that. But I didn't know how to go about it. I'm just like, I wasn't into the dating apps. Like, I was just like, especially at that time in my life, I kind of was just like, I want to meet someone naturally. Like, that was just who I was. And that's fine. But I didn't really want to do it. So I just like met people naturally through Instagram. Like, it was kind of like I would talk to people. I never really met up with anyone or went on like a date or anything like that until like honestly deep quarantine. My bad, y'all. But deep in quarantine, like when it was like
definitely.
Yeah, and it was like kind of one of those things where I like tested the waters and I was like, okay, I want a man. Like I want a boyfriend. So I'ma just I tried it. It was fine for what it was, but I think I want a boyfriend. So for me, I kind of just applied that to like college and just like moving out and like because at that time I was like I'm gonna buy a car, I'm making my first tattoo. Like I was just like pivotal moments. I was like, let me apply this too. And for me, I was like, okay, I can either go and like hopefully just like link up with someone and just like we work, or I'm just gonna date around and see what it's like and talk to different people, whatever. So I experienced that relationship first day. First night I came in, boom. Met, relationship, next day, boyfriend. It was just like that's how it was. And for me, now I'm indifferent to that time in my life. I genuinely do feel like I should have experienced life. Like I should have just it was a lot of big changes for me. So at the time I was like, I want to be in a relationship. I'll literally it was just like for me, I truthfully feel like anyone could have just popped up and be like, I want to be your boyfriend. I would have been like, sure. Right. So and that's not to talk shit on the past relationship, but that's just kind of how I was in that point in life. So yeah. I didn't date for at that point. Obviously, I was in a relationship for a while, and then I was out of that relationship, and I'm happy as fuck about it. But I just feel like that kind of triggered that mindset again, where it's like, okay, now I'm 21. What was I 21? Yeah, I was 21, and I was like, okay, I'm 21 years old now. Like, I could I don't know, I could hop on I can meet someone, whatever. Right, I don't know what the fuck. I like it's different I could now. Really do what I exactly do. Like it was the state we were in when I was like even just trying to talk to people. Like COVID, it was COVID nothing. Was already over. It was nothing. Yeah. So I was like, okay, let's try this. Try dating. I was like, this ain't for me. Got back into that mindset. The dating pool, like I said last episode, is shit. It's terrible. It is honestly terrible, and especially like. Even on the actual dating apps. There's no dating on the actual dating apps. At all. It's hookups on the dating apps. It is, and that's like what's expected. And that's fine, I guess. But that's not really it's not what I was going for. I'm sorry. If you think you're about to get some of this, you gotta be like, I'm saying. And it's just like it's energy and it's effort, and that's what I always crave. Yeah. So yeah, gay dating. You ain't about to do me how you do the rest of it. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like that. My take on that topic is for me, it's not really I don't think it'll ever be something like of course like dating is dating, like that's it is what it is, but I just mean like the constant just like trial error I'm not infatuated with that idea. Same. I just and there's no shame to no one, honestly, truthfully, no shame at all, but it's just not for me and it's never really been for me. So yeah, I don't know, I think for me, gay dating is definitely looks different location wise too. Because Philly is one thing, but then like literally, you go somewhere else, certain states and cities, like they're like, gay dating is everything, and it's normal, and everyone's great, and it's like just, real love, not like it's crazy. Yeah, so we live in Philly, so that is different. Yeah, it's just baby. Yeah, it's welcome just, to North. Yeah, different strokes for different folks, and that's fine. But yeah. That's kind of my take on it. And for you, my question for you to counter that is in terms of dating. I love a counter. Yeah, in terms of dating, was there a point where you, like, I don't know how to word this. Like, were you ever in a consistent, like, situation with someone and just, like, really, really wanted that? Or has it kind of just been, like, trial error? Like, so what's your take on that? I feel like there's been a situation shit. And that's also very prevalent. Yeah. There's been a situation shit. Okay. And honestly, it's had like its role over like a few years. Okay. But it was never really like a relationship. Like it was just like, you know, a little bit of talking, like a little bit of this, a little bit of like an occasional link. Yeah. Very occasional. Gotcha. And it just really dragged on. But I've been standing on business. Yeah, that'll stay. Yeah. Where it stayed a few months ago, not going into 2025. Yeah. Those few years are done. It'd be like that. It's crazy how much time you can spend
But
with
it
one
definitely
person.
had like a hold.
Yeah.
Like if it was like,
Yeah, I get
yeah.
it. I get it. And it's just crazy how you can invest so much time into just like that. And that's just like love and all that. It's a different conversation. But
That's what I
it's,
be saying.
yeah,
Like when you like do stuff with somebody, like that's a soul tie.
it
Like
is.
that has a hold on your emotions, your
Yeah.
mental. Like as much as you say it don't, yeah, you do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
That might be y'all, but that's not me. I can't.
Yeah.
That's not me, baby.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
sorry. This is all me, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't just be giving me. Right.
Period.
That's not for me. That's not for the folks. No, thank you.
Yeah, no.
Nah.
I agree completely. It, it's hard out here, and I fully respect that. But it's also, I feel like it's just a lot of ingenuineness, and that's like the hardest. That's the hardest thing to stomach. It's
A lot
like,
of people front. Like
yeah.
if you're looking for what you're looking for, say that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say you're looking for this and be looking for
And then
something
it's,
else.
yeah, it's just like,
Like
why
stop
are
putting
we
on the front, baby.
exactly?
I don't got time for that.
It's
Cause now if you lying, now you really about to piss me off.
yeah, and it's back to the whole time thing. It's just like time is so valuable. Like I don't care who it is. It's like you're wasting someone's time. How do you just like want to do that? Like I don't know.
got a
Like
second to waste.
I don't
Not
see
on
that
a
urge.
friend,
You know,
nobody.
like it's crazy. But yeah,
Don't come waste my time.
exactly. I just don't got
And that's
time.
all these men have been doing.
That's crazy.
But I don't want to get too into it because you
Mhm.
know I can't get too into it.
Okay.
I really cannot get too into it. But I'm gonna ask you like on your take on DL men.
Okay. To
Because then
be
I'll get into mine.
honest.
I can't get too into
Okay. Okay. We got to get into that after this then. But
it. Yes.
yeah, because I'm
Off
like,
camera. I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm gonna give y'all a little tea, but it can't be too much tea, and it's never no news.
Yeah.
It's never no news. Baby. I don't
Ever.
do that.
Yeah.
Y'all not catching me up with nothing.
Mm-mm. I feel that. I live by that code.
Mm-hmm.
But
You might
yeah.
know a story, but I bet you don't know a face.
Talk that tea.
So for me, I and now that I think about it, I actually did have an experience with a DL guy. I was gonna say that I didn't, and I thought about it,
You
and
said,
I
hold
did.
on. I said.
Yeah, it was actually the first person that I
Same.
like. Ooh,
There was more
yeah,
than just one.
yeah, but it was for me. It wasn't anything like I was thinking about at the time at all. Like I didn't really care to be honest, but it was just kind of like that. And for me, after that, I was kind of like it kind of felt like a like I don't know. I think for my first like interaction with the gay guy, I thought it was gonna be a little more like gay. Like I can't explain it, and it felt
I
like
get what you mean because there's definitely been like
I don't even
those links that feel like it's just like, am I the only one?
yeah, and it was like that. So for me, I was kind of like confused. So for that, but to kind of like wrap that thought up, for me, I could not be with a DL guy. Like I couldn't.
Yeah.
Like I need to like I hate to like put it out like there like that because there's nothing wrong with
There's
it
nothing wrong
at all. But to be with someone who is DL, that's also
That's a
a
lot to
big
take
burden.
on
Yeah, it's a
yourself.
lot to take on for yourself because you did the inner workings to get yourself to a point to even want to be in a relationship. So with a man, so it's kind of just like for me, I think it's kind of I don't want to say selfish because again, it's you. That's your not you. You know what I mean? You're not the DL guy, but yeah, no, like it's you. So it's like you kind of don't want to be too hard on yourself, and that's fine. And no matter the background you come from, I understand everybody got a different story, but to bring it to someone else's life and then to want to be with them and to kind of essentially hide them when that person most likely's idea of a relationship is to be in a relationship. Right. So yeah, exactly. So it's kind of just like I think for me that I couldn't even acknowledge. Well, not shit happens, but I couldn't really get into that just because I personally need to be with someone who is just like gay, gay, gay. Like that's just like my thing. Like I need to like not to be like I need to look at you and be like, oh, you're gay, but like that's kind of my mindset. I'm just like I don't know. That's what I'm attracted to, I guess.
And you want to be like known, like that's nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So for me, I'm just like, I don't know. I wouldn't like if we can't go nowhere in public and we can't fucking go to Chipotle together and without being seen, then I'm cool. Like I'm so cool off that because I like the simple shit. I don't need. I don't need to be fucking flashy. Yeah, I don't need all that. I just want you to not be uncomfortable around me. And that's kind of like, yeah, that's kind of just like, and it's just insecurity. It's blatant insecurity. And again, it's kind of like, not to be an asshole about it, but it's kind of just like, how do we grow from this? Like, there's no growth there. So it's hard. That hasn't been my experience because like, when I was when I was dating around, it was kind of, that was the point. But for me, if I was to, I would feel for the opposite side, because it's kind of just like, bruh, like, and I know you say you don't want to get too much into it, but I'm assuming it's kind of like you're on the side of just like being like, come on, like, what the fuck, like, it's just like, why is this hard?
I'll
Like,
get into it, just not really too into the story.
yeah, no, that's fine.
My take on the Omen is that's what the situation was that I said, like,
yeah,
for a few years. And it was complicated. You know, they had its things. I wouldn't say, like, in a sense, it was really more so just fun.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, like,
Yeah.
people be putting on the front, and be saying the this, and they say that. And you being, you know, young and naive, like, you know, you be like, ah,
yeah, it's fine. And I get
like,
you.
okay, then things happen, and then it's like, okay, you stop talking, then you start talking, you stop talking, then it's like, so that was that.
Yeah.
But I feel like that definitely is the problem, like, with them. They like to, instead of being, like, upfront about stuff, like, I don't know, it's just not my forte. Like, it's just not for me. I've been there, done that, don't want no more parts of that.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna be my man, and you're gonna be my man publicly.
Exactly, and I agree.
Can't do none of the drama. I don't
simply
need
respect. Like, you're just respecting it. Like, and I agree completely. I think it's a sensitive topic, so it's like, it's hard to. And again, I'm not a DL guy, so I can't speak for them. So it's just like, yeah. So it's like
in a sense, I can see, like, because I do know somebody that was older than me, and like he was dating somebody that like I knew.
Yeah.
And like he was like DL, like he had a kid, like blah 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 blah, and like kid is like 20 something, like blah 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 blah. But he then came out. Yeah. But like she already knew, like it was this whole thing, and I was just like, people really be like, somebody in my family that's older, like an older uncle, like in his 70s, just came out a few years ago, like, and it's like, people really be like putting on these like lies and like fronts to like make other people feel comfortable.
Yeah,
sometimes.
And that's what sucks about it all, because that's like, I understand.
I feel for you. I feel for you, but certain parts of it is like I can't feel for you.
Yeah, it's like sometimes like when you're at that big old age, it's kind of just like, all right, like,
do what you gotta do. People pleasing. Do what you gotta do, Papa. Do what you gotta do. The next thing I want to get into is the reality of a gay man's like day to day, like, you know, around straight people, regular people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mean to say regular people because everybody's regular. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like,
no, I see what you mean. I think, again, and not to like put it too much in like my experience. I can only speak on my experience. So
that's how I'll be speaking. I'm speaking in my experience. We're not all the same.
Exactly. So
everybody's gonna have a different point of view. You might feel a different way being a gay man. That's perfectly fine. Exactly. We have different upbringings. We have different point of views. And different experiences.
Yeah, and I think for me too, just like being a gay guy and being like open about it and just living my life that way, it's some days I forget that it's like an issue. Like, and I only say issue, I just genuinely mean like a word. Like, it's not like literally, like, it's just like, it's still not fully accepted by everyone. And I sometimes forget that, like, because I just like wake up now and I'm like, it's been years since I did the hard work of coming out the closet and doing all that.
And I feel like it's because we're blessed. Yeah. Like, we're raised in like a different world than like, you know, the gays before us. So it's like, we're also very blessed to come up in a time where, especially me, as like a super more, not, I wouldn't super feminine, more feminine man. Like, you know, I do my makeup, I wear my, you know, clothes, and it's like, that wasn't so, you know, accepted then than it is now.
Yeah. And I feel like, and it's like, it doesn't even matter like what you do. Like, it could be anything. Like, it's just like when people see something that they think is feminine, they're just like, gay, problem. And that is sadly the state of the world. But I think for me, to get into just like my reality of just like being a gay guy, I feel like I'm at a point in my life now where, again, I said previously, like, I am just like a relationship guy. Like, I enjoy being in relationships. I enjoy the stability of that. I enjoy feeling like someone is loyal to me in some way, and that doesn't come from me like always wanting that growing up. That kind of just like happened, and I was just like, I don't know, I enjoyed that a lot. And I think like I had to struggle to find myself being solo and just like not being in a relationship at all, and kind of just like refining myself, because again, like I mentioned previously, I back then when I was like literally in high school, I was posting on YouTube twice a week, every single week. I was on Instagram doing photo shoots every single day. Like, and I had a camera too, so I would always go out, bring someone, like take pics, make sure the gram was good. Like, that was kind of like my me time. That was what I did. It fueled me. And I think like getting into a relationship so young and it being as long as it was, that kind of stunted my growth in terms of me finding myself on the day to day. And it's just like waking up and just like, what do I do? So I feel like to kind of like day in the life it, like for me, after all that growth, because again, it was very consistent before. It was kind of just like I woke up next to someone. Like it was like I was married so young for no reason. Like that's just what it felt like. And that I loved it at the time, but now I'm like, thank God, like I had a moment in time where I was just alone. I forced myself to be alone. I was like, no, like I need to just like figure out who the fuck I am, what hobby I like to do, things like that. So once I found that, it took me a while. It took me months, honestly, like 6, 7, 8 months of just like that, just me just doing things, trying to find like diving back into content and all that. So now it's like it's different. I'm at a point in my life where I truthfully can say I have a great healthy balance of being in a relationship, but also prioritizing myself and the things that I need to do on a daily. What I do now, like it looks different than like how my previous years looked because I was just like adulting really young and kind of just like living on my own and doing all those things at such a young age and like trying to like chase this like adult life. Like I don't know what it was where I just craved that.
I don't know why everybody wanted to.
Yeah, I don't know. COVID did something. I don't know. It was
especially
just
COVID. Yeah, I thought I was going taking trips.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that for me, like it looked different. So now I finally have like a great relationship balance. I have a balance with my relationship and like with my life and like what I do. There's always time for me, which looks so different than before. So now it's like each day looks different. Like I work remotely. I work at Campus Philly, so I do a lot of work remotely. I'm constantly talking to students and just like on video chats and things like that. So I do it from home, but sometimes I go to the city and I like to like get my content out there. I like double whammy. I'll go work, get my content, and then like now I'm at a point where
2-in-1.
Yeah, with my job, it now allows me to go like eat at restaurants and like try things and like be able to experience it and get the content for it, which is really, really fun and motivating for me. And that was like what I was lacking. Like I was lacking a hobby in this time frame of like this past like year and a half. And now it looks different. So it's like one day, like sometimes like I'll just work from home completely on a Monday and then I'm just like done. And then when I go out into the city, which kind of like gives me a little story time, is like when I'm out and I forget like that wall's down where I'm like I'm just a person. I forget I'm gay. I had someone like spit at me like while I was walking like a week ago. So it's just like and it's like I kind of like to and it was just like
spitting
looked at
to me is the worst thing. Yeah. Besides spitting, pissing, and shitting.
Yeah.
Obviously. But like spitting is the most foul thing you can do to someone. Like, you do that. You don't even do that to a bitch. Like.
Yeah, it was crazy. Not like it was. Thankfully, it didn't hit me. I would be mad as shit. But it was like at me. I was like, I knew what it was out. And like I was being like I literally can remember
the
situation.
At a bar or something?
I was literally walking past City Hall. Like I was just like I was like coming home from a bar. But I was like, what the fuck? Like things like that where it's like my fit. Like I noticed it was a little bit more like I don't know. I just looked more gay. So it was just like I feel like I knew what it. Yeah, and it's like things like that where I was like, damn, like it's not like I was scared, but like I was like, whoa. Like I was like kind of taken back, and I was just like, okay. Like I forget things like this are like happening, and it's just like it's kind of scary sometimes. But
that's crazy because we're too, but that's where we're different now.
Yeah, it's wild. It's just kind of like I don't know. I feel like for me, I've grown to have a nice balance of just like being out and like maintaining just like staying home and like because I have 2 cats, just shit like that. Just being an adult, like trying to find that stability there. And for me, like now, I feel like my day to day, it looks different. And it's like having a relationship, I do look forward to those moments where it's like, I know I'm going to go to sleep with you. I know I'm going to like cook for us because I have OCD and I would prefer I cook. Like shit like that. It's just like I enjoy those little moments, but I also enjoy the moments where I'm just like sitting in my room smoking a blunt, editing a podcast, like things like that. And it's like time. That's like hours that I just need for me diving back into myself. And it's just like the best way to let go. So yeah, it looks different. I do work, content, in a relationship, I have cats. So it's just like kind of just like up there. I've been working on like just establishing my content more and just like traveling more and getting to see more parts of the world that I've never seen because that's like something I'm looking forward to going forward. So yeah, I'm trying to have a good 2025 and make my day-to-days better with like the gym and like all that.
Same, because I'm not gonna lie, me and my friend was supposed to start already like a month or so ago. But then I was like, we didn't start before Thanksgiving. And I'm like, why are we gonna start right before Thanksgiving?
Right, valid. Like literally.
Now it's like at this point, we're gonna be those ones that say New Year, New
Yeah, and then
resolution, we're going to the gym.
Yeah, no.
But I'm gonna stay serious on it because I'm sorry. My birthday's in March and I'm ready to do my photo shoot. You know, I'm ready to do my big one.
Yeah, period. As you should.
I'm gonna get into my day to day, but I'm gonna keep it more. I'm just gonna keep it more shorter because your day to day is more so also you bringing like them into knowing more of you.
Yeah.
I feel like y'all have already seen more of me, so I don't gotta get too into it. My day to day is like I do what I gotta do. I go to work.
Yeah.
Like, you know, my normal. I'm editing. I'm trying to find new content. I'm thinking about different guests, different ideas, different ways to improve the podcast. Like every day.
Yeah.
And same like you said, smoking, editing my content. And the way how you were saying like that. Where I was saying is where we're opposites when you said, how'd you word it? You had said that sometimes you like forget that like, you know, like that kind of stuff happens like towards gays and stuff like that, like with the world we're in right now. And I'm like, and to me it's so, for me it's opposite because I think it's because I'm so feminine that like I'm like hyper anxious.
Okay.
Like I'm like super anxious when I go out sometimes. Like that's why I don't really like going out like that. Like I don't like going to certain spots. Like I don't like being in certain areas. I don't like big crowds. I don't like a lot of stuff. Like, cause I'm just like, I don't know who's around me. I don't know what type of time people about to be on. Like, I don't got time for none of that. So,
understood.
I'm more so like on the ups.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm more so like on the like weary about everything. Like all scary about stuff.
It's completely like this world. This world is something, and it's like I could never, being gay. Obviously, I could never imagine viewing someone gay as like an alien or like they just try to make it seem like you're fucking crazy, and it's like
girl,
I
we the
don't
same.
understand.
We do the same thing.
We do the same thing. I got a fucking
we
job
bleed
too.
the same. You
like,
go to work, I go to work.
Right.
You do what you do, I do what I do.
And it's just crazy.
Only thing is you doing something different than what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all. And it's crazy that it's even a concept that like we discuss because it's like for us it's like this is just who we are. Like and that's just that. And it looks different in every single way. And it's like I don't know.
I love that you said that.
Yeah.
That it looks different in every way. Because matter of fact, just from right there, I'm going to tie it into the next topic.
Here we go.
About people saying that like basically like all gay personalities are the same.
Okay.
That's one thing I want to dive into because I disagree.
Okay. Then you start. I want to hear your spiel.
I'm going to say I disagree because every gay is different. I'm sorry. There's similar gays just like there's similar straight people. Like it's just similar to be similar to somebody. Not similar. It's normal to be similar to somebody. But there's gays are different. I'm sorry. There's the real petty gays. There's the real catty gays. There's the normal gays. There's the like super gays. There's the not to.
Yo,
I don't want to. The DL gays, yeah, like you know, there's the jocks, the super like the bars. There's the Taylor Swift gays, which is you know what kind of gays. Like there's a lot of different kind of gays. There's a lot of different personalities.
Yeah.
Granted, are gays alike? Obviously, just like straight people are like, just like straight people and gay people are like, everybody's alike. But I don't feel like all gays are the same. I'm sorry.
Yeah, at all.
I might be like somebody might be like me, but they're not me.
Period.
Sorry.
Period. I agree. I feel like it's the same vibe, and I think it's valid because like being in spaces where a lot of the time like gay guys specifically, like I have like I feel like at one point in my life there was no like I didn't have any gay friends, and then at another point in my life all my friends
same
were. And it's just like whoa, like
well, same but not so same. I'm gonna get into it right after.
Okay, word.
That's great.
Yeah, and it's just like I feel like there's the chances where everyone's trying to be like each other, which is fine. Like we on the same type of time, that's cool, whatever. But it's almost like a competition with one another. And I've seen that in real life, and I think it's crazy because it just is like, again, it's like we know we're not the same, so we're trying to like pin one another against each other, I guess. And it's just like weird, and I've seen that in real life too, where it's just like, damn, like y'all are really trying to like be mad at one another for just being yourself, and I think it's crazy, but I agree. I don't think all gay men are the same. I think priorities be different. I think heavy on priorities be different, and that can go in a lot of different ways. Yeah, and I think just like the mindset sometimes that people have, like I don't know if you ever met like an in denial like gay person where it's like they are gay, they're open about it, but they're like a Trump supporter, or just like, and like it's just like things like that where it's
like you're supporting things that don't support you.
yeah, and it's just like, and that shows like, and Trump supporter is very like up there, but I just mean like in general, like in other different ways too, where it's just like you can tell they like hate that they're gay, and it's just like
you're in denial,
right? Like why? Like it's just like what
like
is
you're gay,
happening?
but you're not gay.
Yeah,
like
so
you're like I'm gay, but I'm not gay.
Exactly.
Like, you're gay.
Right. Yeah. I think it's all
That's
umbrella.
why there's different gays.
Yeah, exactly.
Type of gay.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think like mask femme, like to kind of just like double it down to two. I think,
and then there's different like
right, exactly.
Different
I'm like,
categories,
subcategories
right. From mask and femme. There's subcategories.
Yeah,
and from there's even more subcategories. Like the list goes on.
It's crazy, and it's crazy the different personalities that you see and like get, and it's like I love
especially when you meet gays you haven't met.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like when you meet like a gay, you're like, I haven't had one of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I haven't had a gay like you around me.
New player, like
literally new player into the game, new category. It's like a new animal or something.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's like again, like with travel too. Like that's something. Like I went to like DC.
Traveling, you see different. Yes.
Yeah, I went to DC and I went to a real like I don't say real gay bar, but Woody's is not. Like I'm sorry, it's not. I don't know what it once was, but
yeah, no,
it's
Southern
not
today.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like you go and it's like a smaller community where it's like, oh, y'all are all really gay and y'all do be here for real. Just y'all, nobody else. Like I went to a bar and it was crazy to me because I've never like been to a bar like that in Philly. It was like underground. It was just gay men, like and I was just like, the shit you see. Like I was like, we're all on different times, but it felt good.
Literally,
because I didn't feel like scared. Like it was just like it was such a different vibe, and that's why I was like I told my friend that she just went to DC. I was like, go to a gay, like a lesbian bar, like go do something, like go somewhere where it's just all like girls, all like, but you're and just experience it because that was like it wasn't it was just different.
But
and
I've
I
had
was like,
experiences with different gay bars.
Yeah, see, yeah, I had
been in Rehoboth and Delaware, and that it was so nasty.
That's scary.
Like,
I've never been around
like
there.
Sex.
Okay, yeah.
You know, like when you like, it just smelled like sex in there, and it just like, and like, there's just shirtless, like,
and it's just aware, like, oh, that's what we're doing here. Got it.
Like, oh,
this is the type time y'all on. Yeah. So
I'm gonna tap into what you said about like there was a point where you didn't have any gay friends, and then you had gay friends.
Yeah.
I feel like it was like that for me too, because growing up there weren't any like gays in my school. There was like one or two, but they were like grades below.
Okay.
So like I didn't know them. Like,
yeah.
You know, like we're in two whole different age groups.
Yeah.
But then I feel like when I started to dance, I want to say when I was like ninth grade, I think I had met a few gay guys, like maybe like 4 or 5.
Gotcha.
Like, okay, like this is what having gay friends is like. And it was like there was different things. Like there was like some that like I got along with, some that I didn't. There was like, you know, like frenemy, cool, like things, and some of us were really cool. Like it was just, you know, and that's where I also would like discover like different gays.
Yeah.
Because before then I didn't really know many gays besides like a few that I knew, some of my family.
Yeah.
But as I met those, it's like, oh, okay. And then after that is when I started to meet more gays, and I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like
it's crazy. It's crazy, and it's just like, and I'll be like getting giddy about it because I'm just like, yo, when I was younger, like I used to like not dream about that, but I used to be like, yo, like one day, like I just might be gay, and like that just might be a thing, and I used to like push that down, but like I just be thinking about, I'm like, little me will be hyper shit that I did it, like at least I'm just being me, like at least, and it's just like it's such a fulfilling like thought. That's why I'm like I'm happy that I had the experience that I did with coming out. I know it looks different for everyone, like everyone has different like it's a lot, but I'm grateful for the fact that I was able to like still kind of maintain who I was. I don't say who I was, but I was put on the front for a while. So it's kind of just like I kind of was like still shifting out of that and turning into like myself. And yeah, meeting gay people definitely helped that because again, my best friend Ryan,
it helps you like be more comfortable with yourself. And and you don't know that until you meet other gays, like other people that are more so, because like you could have like as a gay man, like or a gay kid growing up, like you could have like your girlfriends and like your guy friends that are like cool, but it's not the same as like having like a gay friend that like can understand where you come from.
Yeah.
Like they might not come from the same story, you know, y'all might not, but you understand.
Yeah.
So it's different. So I am very grateful for those relationships that I've had and like meeting through the gay people I've
Mhm.
met, and, like, you know, connecting with different gays and different people. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like,
Exactly. I agree.
and the gay scene in Philly is very like, I feel like I'm not in it.
Okay.
I'm in it, but I'm not in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like
Like I feel like I know some of the queens. I know some of the girls that perform. You know, we're a little known. They know a little
Yeah.
mutuals. I know some of the gays. Some of the
Yeah.
gays know me. But like I feel like I'm not too in it.
I get it. It's. I feel like it's so hard because Philly is just so like is different, and you have to be in situations where like.
But I feel like more people than that I don't per se know still know.
Okay.
Just like more people that I know don't per se know me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, you know
yeah.
how you know somebody
Yeah.
from somebody else, but you don't know them. You don't have
Mhm.
them on Instagram. But if
Yeah.
you were to see them, you're like, oh, that's this person.
Yeah. No, that was literally when we went. You was at the I Party Victorious night thing, right?
You were there?
Yeah.
Ah!
It was crazy because
Yes, it was such a fun time.
no, it was so fun.
I
I
loved
like we
it.
walked in and we saw like you and Jaleesa there. Complete side note, but like period. Like, and I saw you then. I was like, I saw him before. I don't know from where, and then I followed you. And it's, yeah, I'm like, that's crazy how that
Gosh,
shit
that was
works.
such a fun time. I might actually include a video from that.
That shit was so.
I love
fun.
when like guests say something like that, and I include something from my memory because I'm like, oh, memory
Yeah,
unlocked.
right. That shit was lit. I was on stage all night.
Yes, I have a video with I think it was Danny.
Nah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But he took like my whole name.
Yeah, he was being open.
Yes,
I was lit. I was like, the alcohol here is crazy. We all big ass kids.
I know. It was a good time. I love this.
Yeah.
I want to go to another one.
Same.
And I'm actually starting to make a playlist on my
Period.
Apple Music of different Disney, Nickelodeon music.
Period.
Only the hits, babe. Don't come play that trash shit. Before we do our little questionnaires, I want to talk about queer representation. I feel like growing up, there wasn't enough queer representation on TV and music and seeing like, you know, acting, TV, all that. I feel like there were like queer people, but we didn't know they were queer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like now growing up is different, and I want to be able to represent more for the queer kids that are still to come. Like, because now we're blessed to like you know be able to be us now. So it's like I also want to like, in a sense, put on for them.
Yeah.
Like be able to also open that door and continue to keep it open for the kids still to come.
Yeah. There's so much that like we could talk about with that, and I feel like there's like so much, and I agree with you completely, like flat out. Like I agree. I think queer representation is so important, and for it, there was laws against it at some point. Like it was just like things like that where it's like you said, like great point. It's like they were there, but it was like never really confirmed. Like it was like we didn't know, but it was like there was gay people. Did they say that? No, but that's kind of what it was. Yeah, and I think like I mean, truthfully, like I haven't. When I was younger, I would like look for that too. Like I would literally like try and find that, and I would see it in such like different shows and like different ways. Like as I got a little bit older, and like the examples that I can think of like off the rip is like Glee, for example. I don't know if you.
I love.
Okay, word.
I'm a Glee.
Word, yeah.
What they call it?
Glee.
I'm a Glee.
Yeah, no, same. And that was like a show that I watched at 8 years old. Like I started watching
as soon as it came out.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like that was like the first.
Did you watch
like.
Rent?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I need to.
You need to so bad.
I need to. It's always been on my list. I just
Rent is iconic. Like I need to watch Rent on Broadway.
Okay.
Like I have to.
Oh, that sounds iconic though. I feel like I would prefer to watch it on Broadway, but
probably. But the musical is
okay.
Everything. It has Indina Menzel,
Rosario
Dawson.
Period. Word. So like I was saying, like Glee, that was one of the first shows that I seen where it was like there's a gay guy, there's some tea there, and then it's just like as the show went on, like it was kind of like uncovering, like he was uncovering his sexuality, and that was like one thing that I was like, this is crazy, but the way like it was responded and like responded to in the show was like very like negative, of course, because that's how the world is. And I think like that was great and all, but it's always like queer representation for us growing up was kind of there, but it was so backhanded. And it was like the representation they were showing us, like, yes, as a gay person, but in everything you show us, in, like, it's like, light. Yeah, it's like it's wrong, and it's like it's being talked about in some way, shape, or form. Like
it was very risque growing up.
Exactly,
like,
and it's
on TV.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like even other shows. Like I don't know if you've seen The Fosters. Like
I love The Fosters.
Yeah, period. Yeah. Like The Fosters with like the two gay moms. It was like that was another one where it was like this is now a family show, and it's on a family channel where these are now two gay moms with all these damn kids, and left and right. and they're moms and they're lesbians and that's just that, and they just kind of like put in people's faces, and I feel like that was like a good way of doing that because it wasn't really like it was talked about on the show obviously, but I don't know, I think it was a great way to like show that. So I feel like now, like in terms of today, there is queer representation everywhere. I feel like now, like yeah, there's always
athletes on
yeah,
the news and commercials and
yeah,
this and that.
exactly, and I think it's like the best thing.
It's well deserved.
It is well deserved because what
And
the
it's
fuck,
like,
we're talented.
yeah,
What the fuck? Like
don't be trying to put us down
that's what I'm
because of who we
saying.
are and what we do.
Exactly, and don't try to dim that fucking light.
Right.
It's like nah. Like if I'm sorry, like I would love like if I was acting like that is a dream of mine. I want to be a voice actor, but if I can be like a voice actor for like a little gay animated character, like that would be a fucking dream.
That'd
like,
be so cute.
That's what I'm saying, and it's like that is like shit like that for me is like so like. That's what I wanted to see in TV. Like I wanted, like even not saying like that's what I wanted to see, but like me thinking back to like a child, I was like that would have been great, like to have that growing up.
And that's how I feel like with me doing this and like when I was saying like previously I've said on an episode or whichever episode it was. When I was younger, I tended to, in a sense, see myself like behind the camera of some sort, and I feel like it's because I didn't see anybody like that.
Exactly.
More so is why I saw myself younger like that. Like I'm like, I need to be behind the camera.
Yeah.
They need to see me. Somebody needs to like be like, okay, I could be like him.
Yeah,
like, it's okay.
Exactly. No, I agree. I think that is like the best part of doing like what we do, and I think that's like it's smaller scale, but like social media is so fucking like
powerful.
Yeah, it's crazy. So it's like wherever,
like YouTube, Instagram, two different things.
Exactly.
Two completely different viewpoints.
Yeah.
Then even like within followers and viewers.
It's
like my reels get thousands of plays. Yeah. Followers is few hundred.
Yeah.
Math don't be mathing, y'all.
It never does. It's annoying, but it will someday. I won't say it never does,
and it'll pay off, right? Because some days, it'll be like, oh yeah, y'all did that.
Exactly,
like, y'all did that.
Exactly, and it's just hard work. And I just think, I think the representation that we're applying here is great, and I think that's a great way to just like kind of bring the point of the podcast. Is just like literally two gay guys yapping about two completely different experiences, but like we're both from fucking Philly. You're Puerto Rican, right? Puerto Rican. I'm Puerto Rican. Like it's just two Puerto Rican. It's the same shit. Like I'm like, so I'm like, so it kind of. I think it's important to talk about, and I think like that representation being out there more is like what I want to do going forward. Like I said, if I could be on a commercial and I'm gay as shit, I don't give a fuck. I just want to show that side of me. Like
I don't care what.
Like I don't care.
I'll be jolly be gay right there.
Hello. Exactly. So
as long as it's the doll, it don't matter.
Exactly.
Put me in whatever you want, it'll sell. I promise. Hello.
I'd love to see it.
And I come in my own MUA. At the Kitty Great Makeup. Clock it. Code the doll for 20% off. Always gonna plug my sister.
Period.
So guys, we're gonna end this video with a question per usual. And I honestly still don't know which ours is hot seat or the regular questions, so we shall find out. Let's see what I get.
What did we get?
Damn, this is a long one. Am I living in alignment with my authentic self, or am I conforming to societal expectations? Let you start this question off.
Cool.
Say your point.
Yeah. So for me, I feel like I have gotten to a point where I'm now able to live my authentic self, like my authentic life. Like one of the main things that I post about or like are in my bios is authenticity, because I'm doing my best to constantly show a side of myself that it is personal, because it is me growing up, and it is me just like doing my day to day, and just like showing that and kind of sharing that with people. So for a while I did do a lot of things, and when I say did do, I mean that lightly too. I kind of just like I was putting on a act about like the content that I was creating and what I was doing. And again, I keep bringing up content because that's always been a part of my life. That's like something I've been doing since I was 10 years old. Like it's just like I've always had that in the back of my head growing up, and like growing into high school and then going into college and going in middle school, like all of that. And it's just like I've always had that like, but I kind of want to like show off, and not say show off, but it's like I want to show my life, but I don't know how to like do this in a way that isn't like corny or cheesy, or people just like look at what I do and they're like,
trying to be like,
yeah,
I'm really gonna like this,
exactly. So it's like you have to kind of like, I kind of like branded myself to be this type of person like in high school, like in terms of content, in terms of like who I was. That just like wasn't me, and it was kind of like very draining. I left high school feeling like depleted, and I was like, yeah, I need to like change my whole fucking life and like live for me. And that has been like, and then I went through like school and just like college and all that, and it's like I went job to job, experience to experience, and I kind of am at a point now where I just feel like I finally am being me, and I'm okay with being me, and I'm fine with anything that comes with that. To be honest, like I choose this life every day. Well, that sounded morbid, but you know what I mean. Like I choose to be who I am every single day, and I love that for me because I don't feel like I'm hiding for anyone, and I don't want to be an adult hiding from anyone because it took me so long to get to a point where I am comfortable with myself. So yeah, it ebbs and flows for sure. Yeah, period. I need your take.
My take on the question: am I living in alignment with my authentic self? Am I conforming to societal expectations? My take on the question would be, now I feel like, just like kind of like you said, like I feel like I'm living in my authentic self. Like in these past few years, I've really been like, I feel like, I don't want to say ever since out of high school, I want to say end of 2022.
Okay.
Really 2023.
Yeah.
I really been like, it's like it's my way, and that's it. Like I really don't, like, I'm gonna do me, and like you're like gonna love it, you're like gonna take it, you aren't, you're gonna hate it, you're gonna do what you wanna do, but I'm gonna do me. But there's also been points, even still, like sometimes now with the podcast, where like I have felt like I'm conforming to like societal expectations with certain things versus just it letting it flow and just be me. But I feel like now I'm getting more, more in with it. So I feel like that would be my answer.
Good.
For that.
And that's why we're here. Like we are supposed to be advocating for ourselves. We're young as fuck. Like there's no point for us to be living for anybody. Like I'm sorry. Like it was cute when that was like kind of just like the lore of like growing up and like just all in TV. It's like everyone does everything to impress. It's just like that is what is shoved down your throat. So it's like no matter what, it's like you kind of adapt that whether you're trying to or not. And it's like you have to really like set aside who you are and who you're trying to be. And that's like so many blurred lines there, and we can get into that forever. But rebrand and be real. And I'm happy to still be the same bitch that I was when I fucking came out the closet. So
same.
I'm like, work.
Like I'm still the same. I've just grown.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I'm not a different person than who I was. I'm just grown, and I've evolved, and I've worked on myself, and I'm still working on myself, because then I never stop working on myself.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Period.
Before we end out and I close this video out, do you have any advice for any up and coming content creator?
Yes, I do. I actually did a panel last week, my first like on like presentation in front of people, and that was a portion of like that. So I'm gonna kind of grab from that because it's still true. I feel like if you're in a space now creating content, it's very different and it's very fun and it's very light and you can do whatever the hell you want, which is great. But I think in terms of trying to grow and like establish some kind of like business aspect of it or trying to work with people or whatever the case may be, you need to be able to brand yourself correctly. And you need to be able to have something in your pocket where it's like if you do great, you can have 300, 400,000 followers or whatever the case may be. And this is for any stage of like your content creation journey. You can have 1,000 or you can have 300,000. If you don't know how to brand yourself and you don't know how to present yourself to a person and hold a conversation and be able to do these things, you're not going to go that far. Because I know people with 1,000 followers who have had brand deals and have had consistent brand deals and been making money and things like that. And I only keep talking about the brand deals because a lot of people are infatuated with that idea. Like it's something that a lot of people like want to tap into, which it's fun, like getting products and all that. That's great. But it's a business at the end of the day. It's money at the end of the day. It's very serious shit. And I feel like my advice to people coming up in the content space is to kind of just like educate yourself a little bit. Yeah, just like not, and this isn't for you. I just mean like in general, like find something. If you have like an idea, and again, I like this, like for example, like the podcast, happy as fuck to be here. If you have an idea, sit on that shit, put the time in, don't rush, like just do you, and know how to talk to people, and use that customer service voice until you bag your first deal. Like period. But yeah, that's kind of that. And I think to kind of close that final thought, for me, I also think another piece of advice too is just to, again, continuously just be you and don't put on that facade.
Your
Like
authentic
people
self.
want to see you. People want to see, because I struggle with that too. Like I'm
Same.
putting that.
With the podcast,
People just want to see you do you because they know you for real, especially when it's people around you. So just do you, be you, stay true.
Right, and I love that you ended with that because that's literally one thing that like I've discovered with the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, and my cousin has told me numerous occasions, like, you need to be more you. Like,
Yeah.
everybody that's around you that loves you because you're you.
Exactly.
Like, not because like you're acting a different way or like
Right.
anything like that. I definitely have been more like getting more comfortable behind the camera and like
Period.
with different conversations
Yeah.
with different people with different questions and
Yeah.
topics. So I'm gonna end this video out. Thank you so much for coming.
Of
I'm so glad
course.
we got into these topics.
Yes.
Baby, I know this video y'all gonna eat this up.
Period.
Y'all gonna eat this up, and this is gonna be in the teaser because I know y'all gonna eat this up.
I'll be back. For
yes,
sure.
I can't wait. Season 2 is when I'm gonna start bringing guests back, and season 2 would be starting May.
Period.
Season 2 will be starting in May because that'll be when it makes a year, y'all. So
period.
when you're ready to see anybody back, right before May, I'm gonna post a poll and I'm gonna ask her who y'all want back first. The first guest coming into May. Let me just say that. It's super early though. Y'all gonna forget about that. I'll remind y'all. But yeah, as I say every video, send it to your grandmama, your grandpappy, your granddaddy, your mama, your daddy, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your uncle, your aunt, everybody and their mom. Thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you guys for watching and tuning in. Shout out to my girl behind the camera, Key. I love you, sister. My MUA on set. Shout out to Mar for coming. And shout out to you guys for watching.
Yes.
The doll signing off.